What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another
No, no,
episode of
no,
the
no, no.
Waterboy Pot. No,
No, we got to
we're
go through
not.
your story first.
I'm gonna do that immediately after the intro. Once again,
Okay.
new viewers. I don't want to scare anyone. This story is a bit scary. Maybe you'll need to cut some parts out. It'll be up to you
We'll
if
see.
you want
Viewer
to cut it out.
discretion is advised.
But yeah, what is going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today is episode number 72. Solid number, but still not a cool number. We got to wait on that. So much stuff has happened since we recorded on Sunday. I kind of regret recording today's episode on Tuesday, on Sunday. If we recorded that yesterday,
Well,
would have.
to be fair, we didn't really get a choice on that. I had two finals today.
No. We had some external factors, 100%. Don't get me wrong there, but the shit that's happened in the past 48 hours, Everett.
Yeah, I mean, look,
I don't even. It's all sports too.
I had to study.
Ironically, there's been no
essay.
big NFL news. Very ironic. There's been like a lack of NFL news, and it's been everything else. But
NFL is king, yeah.
But yeah, before we get into the sports stuff, let me just break down my personal situation here. So today, TMI trigger warning. Just gonna throw that out there now. So last episode, I went over my ass zit, which I have developed on my left butt cheek. So whenever I sit down, it just hurts so much. It's just like stinging and shit. I was under the impression that it was a zit or a pimple. And you know, I'm not one to get pimples on my butt. So I just kind of thought, we'll move on. You know, it's a little inconvenient when I sit down. Yeah, but we're all right. Today, oh my God, woke up. World Cup was on. Went to go sit down. Watch probably last, I don't know, 10 minutes of that first game or so. Sitting down afterwards, go to the bathroom, go take a piss. And I noticed that there's just fucking blood dripping down my leg.
All right, that's didn't know we were going that far into information.
Let's just say I sat down. I sat down, and while I was watching it this morning, I sat down and popped my what I thought it was a zit, but I quickly found out it's not a zit. It is a abscess. Not sure what it's called. But that abscess word.
There you go.
Yeah, I have an ass abscess. So yeah,
he's got an asshole essentially.
I have a hole in my butt that isn't my asshole.
Yes.
Would it be on my butt or in my butt?
Both. Inside, on top of.
I guess we'll say on. We got a hole on my butt, which isn't my butthole currently. It is it's currently draining. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. It's currently in the drain process. It feels much better now than when it initially popped about 8 hours ago.
Don't need this information. No, don't we?
I told you TMI. I told you you might have.
I didn't think that it was going that far. I thought that you were just.
Well, I mean, the people deserve the story, but yeah, that's the update on my my ass abscess. But yeah, okay. Contracts. Sports contracts are fucking nuts. Okay, my first crazy contract is actually not an MLB one, Everett. Apparently, Cristiano Ronaldo has signed either an 172.9 million euros per year deal, or I think the conversion, I think I got this right, 207 million US dollars per year. Yeah, now, of course, athletes make way more money outside of their sport with, you know, brand deals, shoe deals, investing in companies, yada, yada, yada. But Ronaldo is about to make 170 million in euros just from soccer, just from his sport. Also, which is actually
that he also is at that towards the end of his career. Like this isn't prime
he's like
Ronaldo.
39. He's like
pretty washed. He's pretty washed, and Messi is going to enter Miami.
Like all I'm saying, hey, I'm not one to judge and point fingers, but today, Portugal didn't start Ronaldo, and what happens? They won 6-1, their biggest one of the tournament so far. Makes you think. Ronaldo's Mr. Goal scorer, but Portugal scored more goals when he wasn't playing.
Mr. Locker Room can't.
I mean, that's all I got for soccer, though. I'm not trying to bore people. MLB. I'm repping.
This is the only time where I don't think you would bore people with soccer, because people care about the World Cup, and that's about it.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, sure. We'll take that. But yeah, let's talk about quick little baseball. The MLB contracts have been nuts, absolutely nuts over the past 48 hours. Okay, DeGrom to the Rangers. That was the first big one. DeGrom to the Rangers, and then a little more subtle one, but this applies to us. Andrew Heaney, former Dodgers starter, has also signed to the Rangers. Add a righty and a lefty to that starting rotation. I'm still very hyped that Jacob DeGrom picked the Rangers. Personally, as a Dodger fan, we don't need to worry about Jacob DeGrom in the playoffs for the rest of our life. Like that's just not an issue.
But you know who we most likely will have to worry about?
We're gonna have to worry about some other people. So the rumor going around today, almost 4 minutes after John Heyman posted, he was like, "Wait, actually, it was Cap." No official confirmation, but he reported.
That point, it was already fucked.
It's happening. Aaron Judge to the Giants. The NL West is moving. Apparently, Trea Turner turned down a $340 million deal with the Padres yesterday to go to the Phillies. Shout out Trea, though. No. Shout out Trea.
He knows.
Shout out Trea.
The boys. He might not have come back to the Dodgers, but he at least is a Dodger at heart.
But with that in mind, the Padres were willing to give $340 to Trea. They're going to be offering
that money,
right? Like,
how do you have that money? Like, what? What?
But if they were willing to give $340 to Trea, I think it's safe to assume they're going to be offering a lot of money to Xander Bogaerts and Dansby Swanson. And
also they will have the money.
I'm expecting one of the big name shortstops, not Correa because he's ours, but I'm expecting a Dansby or a Bogaerts to end up going to the Padres, and it's just gonna happen. It's just gonna happen just based off they're offering Trea $340. Yeah, they're gonna shortstop. Some more Dodger news, Everett. Cody Bellinger signed with the Cubs today, and I'll be honest, I knew this was happening. We probably went over this in, I don't know, fucking July. Like, Cody, this is your last year as a Dodger. It was nice. But man, I was still sad when I got the official announcement.
He's been the Dodgers boy. He's been their baby boy. He's been our baby boy. And
I was way more sad hearing that than Seager. The Seager, I knew he wasn't coming back. I knew we weren't giving him the money.
Well, because like Seager also deserved to have a big contract. Belly, I mean, he's been ass for a couple of years now.
Yeah, we've been very critical of him on the show, but he signed for $19.5 million to the Cubs on a 1-year deal. So, I mean, shout out Scott Boras, his agent, the GOAT, obviously worked his magic there, got Belly a really overvalued contract. But yeah.
Also makes you think whether the Dodgers want to play Outman next year.
I think there's definitely a chance that some of those young guys can get a chance. Him, Vargas, like, fuck. I mean, down the stretch, they were playing better than our fucking $20 million fielders. So
James Outman was looking like fucking Barry Bonds out there.
I'm not completely against it ever. I'd actually kind of be for that. Give some of these younger guys another shot. I mean, Lux, he had some down moments down the stretch, but there was a solid period of time, start of the year, where Lux was just on fucking fire.
He was also like the best player on our team for like a solid 2 months straight.
It's like I feel like you kind of need a little blend of the youth. You need a young guy up there getting hyped when he hits his double in the back of the lineup. Like when I was watching the Phillies, Bryson Stott, their rookie, whenever I saw him getting a hit end of the lineup, it just pumped the fuck out of Bryson.
No, like low key though, like the rookies on the team, when they haven't been somewhere before and they get hyped over like the very little things that you normally don't see anything, like that's the locker room vibe. Like that, that's
last year.
Do well.
The last 3 innings that the Dodgers played against the Padres, they didn't want to swing. They didn't want to play. They like the second it hit the 6th inning and they were down by a run, they were just like game over. But okay, some other Dodger guys who've left, some other pitchers. Tyler Anderson, this from a while ago, but Tyler Anderson to the Angels and Tommy Canley, our reliever, back to the Yankees. So Dodgers letting a lot of pitchers walk. I personally, I didn't expect the Dodgers to re-sign Heaney or Anderson. I'm pretty sure they both got like 30 and 20 million each.
They got much bigger.
So I mean, they got their fucking bag for considering how ass they were before they got to the Dodgers. But if anything, that's just a testament to how goated Mark Pryor, the Dodgers pitching coach, is. Like, that man, if you are a borderline, like, you may be out of the league soon, just go to the Dodgers. We'll fix you. Like, we'll fix you up, bro. We'll get you 20 mil. You know, I just, it's crazy to me though how every pitcher that we take in, we turn around, except Craig Kimbrell. We couldn't, not even Mark Pryor could fix that fuck up of Craig Kimbrell. So literally there's nothing to do to fix him. But that's all right. That's all right. We move. That's all I got on baseball, Everett, though. You got any closing thoughts or?
Aaron Judge.
Yeah, Aaron Judge Giants. We went over that set go. I think it's still 100% still going to happen.
I think it's going to happen. We only spent like a quick second on it. That's why I want to bring it back up, because we just mentioned that. If that does happen though, like if we look at the NL West, right? Us, the Padres with Soto and Giants, and the Giants have always been like a competitor more so than the Padres. But now you have those three.
Yeah, I mean,
Diamondbacks are dog shit, but when are they not? Right?
Yeah, no,
Diamondbacks and the Rockies, both are dog shit, but I mean, is what it is.
No, yeah, it's just, I mean, Aaron Judge to the Giants. Like, I mean, in 5-6 years from now, we'll be like, oh, thank God they got that money locked up to Judge. But at least short term, when the Dodgers got their window open right now, like Freddie and Mookie are in their primes. Like, we don't got many runs left with this fucking core. I don't even know if this core can win a ring anyways, though, to begin with. But we only got a few more tries left with this core.
They didn't fucking do it last year. I don't know when they're going to do it.
I mean, honestly, if we couldn't even win a fucking playoff series last year.
To the Padres. To the Padres. What are we gonna do?
When are we, dude? I don't know. Well, okay, that's all I got on MLB. Aaron Judge, yeah, I'm like, yeah, he's definitely gonna be a Giant. He's definitely gonna be a Giant.
He's a Giant.
It'll happen. But okay, college football, Everett. I wanted to start off with some breaking news.
Breaking news. Okay.
I want you to tell me your thoughts on this. So North Texas, they have a vacant head coaching spot open, and they have announced their target hires. North Texas.
Yep.
Future their watch list
competitor of the Tulane Green Wave.
Oh, did not know that. Well, then this might make this a little more interesting. So their target coach watch list: Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, Sonny Dykes, Lincoln Riley, Jim Harbaugh, and Ryan Day. I respect the hustle. You know, I respect it. Okay. You know what? I respect it. Okay. Obviously, it's a joke. Obviously, it's a bit of a troll, but I respect the hell out of them. I mean, shit. Who doesn't want Nick Saban or Kirby Smart?
Like,
everyone. I mean, it's true. They do want them. Like, they won't mind about that.
My pitch. If I'm the athletic director at UNT, I'm calling each and every one of them on my phone, and my pitch is: you've made it this far with the team given to you in a league that obviously you can dominate. Why not finish your career, solidify your Hall of Fame status by
win a natty with North Texas?
Do it with a challenge. Win the natty with North Texas.
That's a pitch.
Only true greatness can win the natty with the University of North Texas.
Now, I think out of all those coaches I just listed, I think the coach most likely to entertain that role would probably be Ryan Day. But I respect the fuck out of the hustle. I respect it. North Texas, you might as well shoot for the stars and aim for the moon.
Also, by the way, another coaching just update. UNLV, University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
Of course.
Reportedly in negotiations with Coach Ed Orgeron to become their next head coach.
please get Coach O back. Please get Coach O back.
By the way, little fun fact: Coach O, at the AAC championship game between Tulane and UCF, I saw him on the sidelines next to us.
One of his like sons goes to Tulane, right, or something.
Yes, his stepson, I believe, is a coach. Is one of our coaches.
I mean that Baton Rouge blood. Well, New Orleans. Does he have connections in New Orleans, or is it Baton Rouge?
Baton Rouge,
Louisiana blood. It rolls through him. It runs through him. He's just
he looks pretty good though. He looks like he's in pretty good shape right now.
I mean, to be honest, like I still think it's hilarious that Coach O was the Rock's D-line coach at the U. Like that's also a hilarious. Oh yeah, no, like right when Ed O was becoming big, one of the first people they interviewed about him was the Rock. They're like, so we found out that Coach O was your D-line coach. Please tell me you have stories. And Dwayne's, of course, just like, yeah, I have plenty. But oh my God, Coach O to UNLV. Oh my God, Coach O in Vegas.
He's really taken the UNT shit to the next level. He's trying to solidify greatness there.
Now, Coach O in Vegas might be some of the greatest off the field content you could possibly get out of a college football coach. Oh my God.
Money there.
If you thought the Urban Meyer bar story was funny, wait till Coach O hits up the MGM Grand Casino. All right. Wait till that story comes out. Then we got some real headlines.
They have live cameras following him. It's just going to be a docu.
Yeah, no, knowing him, there'll be an entourage around. They want to.
What if they did? What if they did a?
I'm surprised Coach O doesn't have a podcast. Fuck, I'd listen to that.
That'd be great.
Like,
great.
Shit. Fuck. Why don't we ask him to be our co-host?
Let's do that. Fuck it. Let's send him an email right now.
Be that busy. Well, he might be with the UNLV job,
but also just imagine if they did a documentary, like a docu-series, the way that The Office was filmed.
Oh my God.
At UNLV.
Oh my God. I truly need to know everything that he does. Like I'd actually want to watch every minute. Don't edit, don't cut a fucking thing. Give me the full raw
3-hour episodes.
Let me fucking take it all in. Also, please turn the closed captions on because I probably won't be able to understand him for a lot of it. But yes, I want the full unedited footage.
All right, my other thing with coaches, so I mentioned this pre-recording.
T1 Walker to the Phillies. Okay, Philly just picked up a bit of a nice little picture there.
They're making some moves right now. The Phillies somehow. I mean, fuck.
Yeah. But.
Anyways, yeah. So Cincinnati just poached Louisville's head coach.
Mm-hmm.
They also poached Louisville's defensive coordinator, and I believe they're also actively working on poaching a couple other coaches. Cincinnati plays Louisville next week in the Fenway Bowl, which, by the way, has apparently had a long.
I did not know that.
They play next week, next Saturday in the Fenway Bowl. Which, by the way, also Louisville and Cincinnati apparently have a long-standing rivalry, and their game is Battle of the Keg of Nails. It's the first time they've played that game since 2013. And also, just to mention, by the way, at the Fenway Bowl, what
conference did Louisville used to be in? Did they used to be in the same conference? Is that why?
I don't know what to tell you, but this is the biggest thing out of all of that. Okay. The Fenway Bowl. Both teams at the Fenway Bowl are on the same sideline.
Oh, I saw that. But now that I know it's this game, okay. Other follow-up question. I know it's not bowl season and it's not kind of a foul move. The Louisville coaches will be coaching for Cincinnati in this game, correct? Yes. They will. Yeah, okay. It'd be really funny if they were coaching for Louisville, sticking out this term, and then that would be fucking amazing.
I feel like this isn't as good, but this is pretty damn close. Imagine you literally get hired for another team for another job,
and then you're playing them a week later.
You're playing the team that you just left.
I'm just saying though, okay, knowing all that, bro, Louisville fucking spread is a lock. Is a fucking lock, dude. It's a lock. They got a new coach coming in. They got to learn a whole new playbook in a week.
But also keep in mind that now, since he's coach, formerly Louisville's head coach, knows every single player, knows the in and out.
No, that's also 100% true. Don't get me wrong. I do think it's a much bigger challenge, though, meeting your fucking team for the first time. It's like, all right, boys, got 2 weeks and we're playing the team that I just coached for. Like, all right, I'm gonna be honest. I did not know the implications of that. The keg of nails,
the battle of the keg of nails,
the battle of the keg of nails. I will be tuning into that after you told me that. Holy shit, that's must watch. Now that's must watch football right there.
That's college football
Fenway
right there. That's college football.
Just at Fenway.
At Fenway, and both teams are on the same sideline.
You gotta love that. I absolutely love that.
Also want to mention, by the way, and I don't know if you're gonna get to it. It's been like 2 days, maybe 3 days since the transfer portal is technically.
Yeah. I was about to get to that.
There are over 1,000 players in the transfer.
Oh, more than that.
That's why I said over 1,000 already.
I feel like there's probably a number on how many total kids were in it last year, but I think it's going to go up this year.
It was like maybe it was like 800. It was either 800 or 8,000. I don't know. It was one of those two. I think it was 840.
Yeah, it's a lot. Don't get me wrong. Another interesting point that I thought about, at least in terms of right now, this initial like boom, like holy fuck, it kind of feels like 40% of college football players are in the portal right now. It's like kind of what it feels like.
There's so many of them. Not to mention Deion Sanders telling an entire team to enter the portal.
Oh yeah, we're about to get to that too.
You did mention that in the last.
I was talking to Chad, who we've had on the pod, playing for Tulane, and I was asking him what his thoughts were on transfer portal, and just the situation in general. And he was telling me he thinks right now there's a big problem with just the amount and like volume of people entering the portal.
I agree with that.
And he thinks a lot of that can be inflated because of COVID and many people having extra years of eligibility. And so in like 4 years, when there's no more COVID people, then it'll just be the only older people will be fifth years, grad seniors.
I definitely agree with that. I also see the problem, and I saw this.
I still think it's a problem.
I think the amount of people definitely are like. I feel like once you're at a certain year of eligibility, like either you can't transfer your first 2 years or you can't transfer like after your first. Like there should be some restriction like that. Wouldn't necessarily be a terrible idea, but also like the big thing going in with that is a point.
Keep going.
A point was made to me that with all these people being able to transfer and the portal being such an option, like a good option, players could transfer like and do transfer basically every year. Like one player could bounce around to 3 different schools, and if they don't get drafted to the NFL, which a lot of players don't go to the NFL after this, they don't have a degree because they've been transferring to so many different colleges. They're not going to graduate with a degree, which is a problem for them.
Because there's definitely that. I was thinking, shout out to you for being an academic head. We love that, Everett. I'm more of a football guy myself here. I think players go to school to play football, not play school.
Cardell Jones.
But this was my big concern with just the transfer portal, how easy it is. You could just enter it casually, no big deal. When I look at Texas A&M last year, they've had so many 5-stars. Remember that number 1 recruiting class they had last year and all of those 5-stars? Yeah, almost every single one of them is now in the portal right now. And
recruiting now just kind of doesn't mean anything.
And now, Everett, let me remind you, why did all those A&M players, or why did all those players commit to A&M in the first place? NIL deals. We kind of went over this a little bit with Miles Brennan like months ago. And when he just quit the LSU football team after losing the starting job. But it's just like the Texas A&M boosters are not going to be happy about those players leaving. They're not going to be happy. And I just think this should be a bit of a lesson. Like, hey, don't pick schools based on NIL. I think the initial NIL deals, like guaranteed when you're in high school. I think those are going to start rolling back a good amount now after seeing what that recruitment class did immediately after year one. They all hit the portal.
I mean, NIL deals also, like, yeah, a lot of them come from the schools, but people also get them just by being on a school. Like,
no, exactly. Like, I know Quinn Ewers, when he signed to Ohio State, he had like a Columbus car dealership NIL deal that did not follow him to Texas.
No, but obviously, like, that wasn't specific. Like, the Ohio State didn't tell him if he signed, he'd be getting a car dealership deal. Like, it just happened after.
I want to say they didn't, but they probably did. But yes. For the sake of the argument, yes.
Yeah, that's what my point is.
No, yeah, I just like we're gonna see a lot of players go to their first school, get their bag as a true freshman, then dip to Bama.
I also don't like the portal specifically for the reason that not conference hopping, but like G5, P5, right? Like, if a team is at
G5 gets screwed. If Tyjae was not draft eligible, he'd be playing for Alabama next year. I hate to say it, but
like some players have like they want to finish where they started, and I respect a lot of people for that. Like, they just like, I put my, like, this is my commitment, I'm going to stay here, and I respect a lot of people for that. But there are other players, like, let's say Coastal Carolina has like one of the best quarterbacks in football, right? Grayson McCall, whatever the fuck. He's not the best quarterback in football, but for this argument, let's say Grayson McCall is the best fucking quarterback in football. He's going to go from the G5 straight to Power 5, the transfer portal, after one good year, and Coastal Carolina is going to be fucked. Like, the difference is you could build a G5 program from the ground up through good recruiting and make them a competitor and a possible playoff like team with the expanded playoffs. But if players are going to keep leaving through the portal for more notable programs, it's going to make it increasingly difficult for that.
No, 100%. Like, this is just another example of the rich getting richer. Like there is arguably zero fairness in college football. Like, arguably zero. Like, there's fairness in the NFL where if you go 0-17, you're probably getting the number one pick. There's some fairness there. Like, in college, if you go 2-10, you're not getting the best recruiting class you're getting the worst recruiting class.
If you go 2-10, you might not be getting the best recruiting class, but you know what? The next year you're going to go 11-2 and win the fucking conference championship.
Well, not every team. Tulane could do that. Not every team can. I think Tulane actually is like the only team to do that. Actually, now that I think about it. I was saying that, dude, 10-2 or 2-10 to 11-2. So if that doesn't scream coach of the year to you, what does?
Are you done with the transfer portal? Because we can transfer into that real quick.
I want to talk about some Heisman finalist atrocities. Okay, so my last thing on college football.
Let's go through the coaches real quick then. So I don't know if you saw this list, but it's like Lincoln Riley, Sonny Dykes, Coach Willie Fritz from Tulane.
The North Texas. No, you're talking about Coach there.
But it's like it's the Lincoln Riley's on there, Sonny Dykes is on there, Willie Fritz is on there, Tulane, by the way. So there's like a lot of notable coaches. Like, I think it should come down to Sonny Dykes and Coach Fritz.
Like Sonny Dykes is definitely up there. Yeah.
Those should be the two. Like, it should be between those two. And I mean, like, the problem now is you're faced with it's Power 5 versus G5.
Exactly.
That's what the situation is. And TCU, obviously, they're 12-1. Tulane's 11-2. Tulane's not in the playoffs, but so there's that difference. But so now you're talking about what did Sonny, like, look at TCU last year. What did Sonny Dykes do to improve that team? How much win improvements did they get? Who were they playing, et cetera? And look at Coach Fritz. Look at what happened last year. Look at what we did this year. Going to the first Cotton Bowl we've ever gone to. Going to the first championship game for the American that we've ever gone to.
And winning in it.
And won. The biggest thing, by the way, is so I believe Hawaii holds the record for most wins in a turnaround season. I think that they were 1-11.
Hawaii football.
They were like 1-11 one season, and the next season they went like 9-3, or maybe it was something like that. They had I think a 9-win turnaround, We are currently tied with them for a 9-game turnaround, and to break that record and set the college football record for most wins in a turnaround season, we have to beat USC in the Cotton Bowl. We are playing for something.
Now that I love to that. And another thing that, I mean, I'm a USC. I go to USC. Not like I'm speaking to any players, but I do think Tulane has a psychological advantage in this match.
I also want to just state that the bowl appearance for us this year, for the Water Boys, couldn't have been any better.
Honestly, like I think we joked about, I think we like teased or hinted at a potential Tulane USC Cotton Bowl, because I think you showed me like a bowl
I sent you a
prediction
picture
post from
like
months
a month ago.
Yeah, really long time ago. And like, obviously I wanted USC to make the playoff, but this is the next best alternative. literally the second greatest alternative.
Literally could not have been any better.
And it's a complete selfish perspective. Don't get us wrong. It's 100% Waterboy perspective. But oh my God, holy fuck, we lucked out so hard. Are you kidding me?
Literally, it is the Water Boys versus each other.
Honestly, like the Water Boy Civil War. I guess
Water Boy.
Yeah, let's brand it like that.
The Water Boy Civil War.
Yeah,
that's a
I like that
fucking clip. Yeah,
I like that. I like that. That's what we'll call that episode, the preview for that one. But I mean, shit's just nuts. Shit is nuts. Okay. I want to talk about just these Heisman things though.
Yeah.
Just real quick. Caleb Williams, of course. CJ Stroud makes sense. Max Duggan, debatable.
It's still fair.
But then Stetson Bennett.
What the fuck are we doing? Okay.
These are who my Heisman finalists would be. Caleb Williams, CJ Stroud, yes. Now, hold on. Max Duggan, Hendon Hooker. I kind of want to give that to Hendon.
Can I just get you to say these would be my Heisman finalists, and then just 1, 2, 3, 4?
No, I am. I'm gonna go over that real quick. Okay. I'm gonna say that nice and neat for you at the end. But Max Duggan, Hendon Hooker, fuck. I want to put Hendon Hooker in, and I know he got hurt. I know that happened, but when he was on the field, was he not the best player in America in carrying his team?
Quarterback in the nation.
Was he not? I mean, he was. And I'm a big Hendon Hooker guy. Preseason, I was a big Hendon Hooker fan, a really big fan last year. So yes, I'll admit there's some bias here. But Stetson Bennett, the last one. God no, he should not be there. These are my 4 Heisman finalists.
Hold on. Stetson Bennett made the list purely because he has 40 fucking NFL players around him. Like, you should not be making. Look at he has 20 touchdown passes, 6 interceptions, and 3,000 yards.
Touchdown passes. 20 touchdown passes. What? 20? Like, how is that even possible when you're on a team that good? Like, what? But regardless, okay. These are my 4 Heisman finalists: Caleb Williams, CJ Stroud, Hendon Hooker, and Michigan's offensive line. Those are my 4 Heisman finalists. Send the whole fucking Michigan O-line there, okay? And now, I think Blake Corum's a great running back. Don't get me wrong, okay? Top 3 in America. I'm not coming at you with that. But I'm just saying, when Blake Corum has not been playing for Michigan, their yards per carry has only increased. I'm just saying.
Right. Will was right. Donovan Edwards is a better running back.
I'm just saying. Last time I checked, the running game is impacted more by the O-line than the running back. But that was just the last time I fucking checked. I have no idea. I've never played football before.
We did state that running back is one of the most important positions in college football in comparison to the NFL, but running back still is a replaceable position overall.
I just think though, it's like Donovan Edwards is extremely great running back.
Donovan Edwards is a great running back. Like obviously the point differs if you go from a fucking 5-star running back to
No. I 100% agree. 100% agree. I mean, shit, you could see what happened with Ohio State this year when their guys got hurt. But yeah, that's all. That's what I had in the Heisman. That's all
I have a transition statement for us, so we can get into the NFL. I got a good transition segment. So this was about 5 days ago. It'll be a week almost, maybe a little bit over a week ago when you guys are listening to this or watching this episode on Thursday.
I don't even know what this is. So,
but Patrick Mahomes did an interview with on the Jason Kelsey and Travis Kelsey's podcast.
You just brought up a point about Patrick Mahomes. Keep going. I'm ready.
So he was on the Kelsey's podcast, and he stated that when he was doing his interviews for the teams for the NFL draft, he really liked Kansas City, and Matt Nagy, who was the OC at the time, really, really liked Patrick Mahomes. And he liked him so much that he gave Patrick Mahomes like a playbook, essentially, of plays and questions Andy Reid was going to ask him the next day. So Patrick Mahomes stayed up for hours that night so he could ace the exam the next day and get drafted by the Chiefs. So essentially, Matt Nagy helped Patrick Mahomes cheat on an exam to have Andy Reid draft him to the NFL.
Now you could take this one of two ways. Either scumbag move by Matt Nagy, you're cheating the system, gaming it to get a player that he wanted. But on the flip side, maybe Matt Nagy's the most genius human on earth, knowing Patrick wasn't going to pass this, but he is the guy. I need to do everything in my power to make sure he does.
If Matt Nagy was,
I'm more so on the second side, but
if it was Mitch Trubisky instead of Patrick Mahomes and Matt Nagy did all that shit for Mitch, and then
that's a fireable offense.
It's a fireable offense.
Yeah, I mean, arguably suspended from the United States of America and forced to leave the country if you were to do that. Definitely never allowed in the state of Chicago again, or state of Illinois again. Definitely never allowed back there.
Huh?
Just at state of Chicago, state of Illinois.
This was in Kansas City. This was in Kansas.
I thought you were talking Mitch Trubisky.
I'm saying for that draft.
Shit! I just you say Mitch, and I instantly am like number 2 to the Bears. The only thing I can think about. But okay, my quick little Matt Nagy praise for that. A quick little shout out. I mean,
hey, at least know what he's doing then.
Maybe he's not as bad of an offensive guy as we thought. Not a head coach, but maybe not as bad of an offensive
coordinator.
Guy.
No. I agree with
that. He's definitely in the league, right?
Like, I don't know what he's doing right. I don't actually know what he's doing right.
I want to look that up.
Matt Nagy,
he's quarterback coach for the Chiefs. He's right back there.
Oh, he's back there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That actually works out perfectly for him. He loved Patrick Mahomes so much. Now he's just his coach. Literally, his
honestly,
though,
I would love to hear a little more from Mahomes on his opinion on Nagy, because I mean, I feel like when you're hiring a quarterback coach for your $500 million quarterback, I think he's going to have a pretty big say in who gets hired to that job. I don't know.
I agree with that.
I think it's safe to assume that. So I think we can assume Mahomes fucks with Nagy. I think he does.
I mean, considering it sounds like Nagy essentially got him to the Chiefs,
to the greatest gig of all time for a rookie quarterback or young quarterback ever, the greatest landing spot in all, maybe Patriots. Brady is better, but second greatest. Okay. Second greatest. But yeah, no, 100%. I'm with you, but okay, Everett, let's get to these fucking picks. We tied last week. Both went 9-6. Very interesting. I was literally thinking about it while the games were going on. We had a bunch of back and forth games where me and you picked different things, and they all just happened to even out perfectly. So we're 9-6. But Everett, that brings me to an overall record of 113-82. That should be bringing you to 110-86, 85. So that should be bringing you to 110-85. Still a 3-game lead, but we don't go by overall record. We don't go by overall record when we determine who gives or announces the game. So we're going off who won the week before, which was Everett. I think you won 3 straight weeks before this week?
I believe I've won 3 straight. Yeah.
It's either 3 or 2, but you've been on a roll. I broke that. We tied, just kind of like the commies and the Giants, but okay.
What hold on. We both count that as losses, correct?
I count it as a loss.
I count it as a loss. Yes. Okay. Just had to clarify because we've never had a tie situation.
No. Yeah. I was
So wait, does that mean that
Probably
we
should have asked
pick ties? So make sure we just pick ties.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's fair game. Fuck yeah. You could pick a tie.
All right.
It should count. Okay. Now this is where we get into the weeds. Do you get extra points for getting a tie? Because like I mean,
I'm gonna say
it is way harder, but it will throw off the numbers on how many total games there are.
If you can accurately pick a tie, it should count.
It should count as like 5 fucking wins.
I was gonna say you double your win total.
So what you're saying is you hit 1 tie, you win the fucking thing, is what you're saying.
What I'm saying is if you are going 9-6 and 9-5 and you tie, you get 18.
I think I might have just picked out a slight problem with that because me and you or whoever's losing can just pick tie for every game rest of the year. And if you hit 1, you win. So I'm going to check that one, but you can pick ties. You're allowed to pick ties. That is allowed. Okay.
Maybe it'll be like +5. We'll sort it out and get back to it.
But all right. Week 14 NFL. Everett, can you believe that there's only 14, 15, 16, 17, 5 weeks of NFL left, regular season? There's only 5 left, Everett. This is the last week of teams on bye weeks. 6 teams on bye. Bit of a lighter schedule, but Thursday night we got Raiders at Rams. Sunday early slate, we got Jets at Bills, Browns at Bengals, Texans at Cowboys, Vikings at Lions, Jaguars at Titans, Eagles at Giants, Ravens at Steelers. Sunday primetime, Chiefs at Broncos, Bucks at Niners, Panthers at Seahawks, Dolphins versus my Chargers in SoFi on Sunday night, and then Patriots at Cardinals in Arizona Monday night. Let's get to my quick picks. I'm not a betting man, but I loved so many plus signs this week, spread wise. But these are my picks, Everett. Thursday night, Rams, Bills, Bengals, Cowboys, Vikings, Jaguars, Eagles, Steelers, Chiefs, 49ers, Seahawks, Chargers, but I advise against that one, and Cardinals.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd advise against picking for the Chargers this weekend.
I would.
I pick it every week. So
what I'm trying to do right now is I'm just trying to stat check something from last year's records, and I don't really know how to do that.
Stat check which records? What do you mean?
I'm trying to stat check the Jaguars and the Titans right now. That's
I'll look up Mike Vrabel versus Jaguars.
Yeah, let me see real quick. Okay, I have my answer. Wait.
Mike Vrabel is 5-5, dead even against the Jaguars in his career.
Jaguars, really?
Okay. Oh. That's him as a player, not a coach.
All right, I have my answer. Okay. Here are my picks. Raiders, Bills, Bengals, Cowboys, Vikings, Titans, Giants, Ravens, Chiefs, Bucks, Seahawks, Dolphins, Patriots.
Okay.
Back.
So real quick, I think this is actually probably an easier way to go over some of these games. Let's quickly talk about the games we disagreed on. I feel like that's probably a good way to go over these that we haven't thought.
We're just learning it 14 weeks. Yeah.
But
it's just 14 weeks into the season.
I have Rams. You have Raiders.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest. I think the Raiders are gonna win this one. Don't get me wrong. And yes, Baker Mayfield just signed with the Rams. There's no fucking way he's starting the game in 2 fucking nights. There's no way that Baker Mayfield's the quarterback for the Rams in this game.
Is Matthew Stafford on IR?
Yeah, he's on.
He's on IR.
I'm not sure IR, but he ain't playing. Probably done for the year anyway. They should do that. I mean, their season's over. I just couldn't get myself to pick the Raiders after what happened last week. I can't pick that team to win. It's a pure vibes fade, just straight vibes emotion. I cannot pick the Raiders. That's the only reason I have for picking the Rams. That's all I got though. I kind of agree with the Raiders pick though, but I still think -6 crazy. Next game that we disagreed on, Jaguars Titans. Obviously, you brought that up. Everett, what is Mike Vrabel's record against the Jags as a coach?
Over the last 2 years since 2020, he's 4-0.
Okay. Now we got to take that with a little bit of a grain of salt because the Jaguars haven't been a football team for the past 2 years.
No.
But Everett, help me understand why you jumped off the Jaguars hype train this week when I swear you've picked them every single week this year. Why is this the week that you jump off the train?
Well,
was it last week? Was last week just a rude awakening in Detroit? Or
last week the boys put out a pretty shit performance, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what the fuck was going on there, but you can't.
And it was J-Mo's debut, but J-Mo didn't get on the field.
He had
so
one target.
Zero
he had one target. He had one fucking target, and they still murdered them by like 27 points. The fuck are we doing? Anyways,
something I was thinking though, and I think PMT was talking about, like the Lions might actually just have expectations next year, but we're not talking about the Lions. We're saving that when the Vikings play them in a sec. But okay, Jags Titans.
Yeah. So my thing is, Jaguars defense let up 40 fucking points to the Lions. Couldn't score on the Lions defense when their fucking defense is one of the worst.
Up too.
Yeah, but also still like Trevor should be able to throw against that fucking secondary, and he couldn't do it. Like the Lions have literally the worst defense in the NFL. They have like the 30th worst defense in the NFL. That combined with the Titans getting embarrassed and this being an inter-division game.
Titans are coming off back-to-back losses too. I feel like Vrabel's never lost 3 in a row.
This is your opinion with interdivision games. Say it for me.
Throw fucking everything out the window. Everything. None of it matters.
Everything. Nothing matters.
Literally none of it matters.
So Mike Vrabel has owned fucking Jaguars ass for the last 2 years. This is
actually a very big divisional week. This is
in Tennessee. Titans coming off of a terrible fucking loss.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry's pissed. Hasn't gotten over to run over a dude in over 2 weeks. Like,
now I'll be honest, you just sold me on the Titans 100%. This was kind of one of my big reasons why I went towards Jags. I feel like the Titans, they play their best when you don't expect them to win, when no one's giving them a chance.
I agree with that.
No one's giving them a shot. And I feel like even personally, just me thinking, coming off 2 losses, oh my God, hammer the fucking Titans. Are you kidding me? Fucking hammer the Titans. This is kind of what I was thinking though, but this can actually end up maybe benefiting the Titans. So after last week, AJ Brown running rampant all over the Titans secondary, the Titans GM got fired over the past couple of days after that. So my first reaction is, okay, might be some turmoil behind the scenes here. Things might not be organized this week for Tennessee.
No, Tennessee. No. It's going to be organized because Mike Vrabel and their fucking old GM, Mike hated their fucking GM. He did not want to trade AJ Brown. He did not want to make half of the fucking selections that they've made. And the GM just decided, fuck it, I'm doing it anyways. And I'm giving you the team that I'm going to give you, and you're going to coach it.
Wasn't under the awareness of that. But I was about to say my counterpoint. Then again, maybe Vrabel's like, fuck yeah, now I run the show. Now we're gonna actually do what we do.
Yeah,
that was the other way of interpreting the GM.
I think that he could take on a little Bill Belichick role and be the GM too. Hopefully not.
That'd be hilarious. But if they give him the GM role, then he's never coming to Ohio State. Fuck me. But I'll be on. My first thought was GM fired. Maybe Vrabel's taking a look at Ohio State. Now that you told me he fucking hates the GM. If anything, this tells me that the Titans owner, Vrabel's the head coach.
Yeah, he's
the GM's the moving piece. Vrabel's the head coach. Like that's what that tells me. And yeah, he's so not coming to Ohio State now. He is literally never coming now that you. Yeah. Yeah, that broke my heart a little bit. Okay, yeah, Titans is probably the pick here. But then again, now back to my original point why I picked the Jags. everyone's on Team Titans now. Everyone's on Team Titans. Go.
I clearly that's not true because you were not convinced until after I fucking explained my point.
But I'm gonna assume most people knew that relationship between Vrabel and the GM, and I just didn't. I'm gonna assume most people did. I'm gonna say that I was part of the other in this. Most people know
the
that
other,
fact.
yes.
I was the other there. But okay, yeah, we spent enough time on that. Okay, Eagles Giants. You're just fading the Eagles every week, right? You don't actually.
I don't think
you're kind of fading them every week. You're literally fading them every week.
I might be fading them every week. Did I fade them 2 weeks ago?
I mean, I faded the Raiders. Like, I mean, it's completely fair. I mean, a little bit different though. Like when you're fading the 5-7 Raiders versus the 11-1 Eagles, though, a bit of a difference. But hey,
I've been fading them for about a minute now.
Everett, you're not changing the pick now. Why are the Giants going to beat the Eagles?
Well, they tied last week with the Commanders, and if you look at them, look at their Kayvon Thibodeau has been great so far, especially recently. And most of their
D-line, big time sack in OT.
Most of their D line has been looking really great. And by the way, their D line coach, former Vikings D line coach, we talked about this preseason, and I said specifically that. Remember, I said preseason the Vikings
keep refreshing me.
The Vikings old defensive line coach Patterson. He developed Everson Griffin. He developed Daniil Hunter. He developed DJ Wana. He developed a
pretty solid NFL edge.
He was there for Jared Allen. He was there for Brian Ross.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's developed a lot of talent on the D line, and I said preseason that he's going to do an amazing job developing, and I expected them to draft a defensive lineman. He was going to develop them well, and he has. And the big thing for the Eagles that gave them fits versus the Commander was that D line. And I think that matches up well. It stops their running attack, and they have to be one-dimensional and pass. And obviously, their passing game has been better this year. But if they can kind of shut down that pass game, especially with AJ Brown with that secondary, all they really have to do is light it up on offense. And yes, the Eagles have Jordan Davis back. They have Ndamukong Suh, Linval Joseph, which could help kind of stuff Saquon Barkley. But Saquon Barkley's not.
They also have Linval.
Saquon's not a one-dimensional runner. He can go outside. He can go inside. He can catch the ball. There's a lot of stuff.
Trust me, I know. I drafted him round 2 in fantasy, and everyone called me worst pick of the draft when I made it. But who's laughing now? Okay. I don't really. I'm gonna transition this into an Eagles versus Vikings talk real quick. So. One thing that I've been hearing a lot of Eagles fans, one of their really big concerns about this team is their special teams. Their special teams is bottom 3 in the league, awful. They can't cover. I think other teams, when returning kickoffs, they average their starting drive at the 35. That's fucking nuts. That is nuts. So what are your thoughts on the Vikings special teams? Can you have a significant advantage in that area of the game? Do you have any thoughts, any strong opinions on the Vikings special teams? Because, hey, special teams matters. Okay.
So we have the best punter in the NFL in Ryan Wright.
I'm more so thinking
I'm getting there.
Your coverage teams and shit. But let's talk punters too. Tell me about your long snapper too while we're at.
Oh, he's doing a phenomenal job.
You know his name?
Ryan DiPoloa.
Yeah, good for you.
Kicker. I mean, Vikings kickers are never good. What do you expect from us? We're not going to have Harrison Butker.
But Eagles kickers aren't great either. So
yeah. So except for the first year, normally they're good. Their rookie seasons do well. Their fantasy wise, the rookie year, but. We're looking at punting, coverage and return coverage for kickoffs. I think that the Vikings have one of the better ones in the league. And I told you this after the Patriots game on Thanksgiving. The Vikings kick returner has 3 TDs over these last 2 seasons, his 2 seasons in the NFL. He's on pace to break Devin Hester's record, Cordero Patterson's record. He's on pace to have more return touchdowns than any of them.
Mm-hmm.
And he averages a kick return touchdown on every 13 and a half returns.
So based off what I just told you about the Eagles kickoff or lack of kickoff team, how does that make you feel, Everett?
Oh, it makes me feel great. And also, by the way, the kick return that he took back for a touchdown on the opening kickoff of, or maybe I don't know, but in the Patriots game, that scheme, that blocking scheme they drew up for that play specifically for that return, they drew up at halftime. It was a brand new scheme, brand new play that they made at halftime in the locker room. And
that's lit. That's lit. That's lit. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That's lit. That's lit. Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, it's good factors there, but I just want to bring light to a maybe more, I guess, an aspect of football we don't really give a shit about, don't really talk about much, but Eagles fans have been very concerned about their special teams. So I just want you to know that. I think last game we disagreed on other than Dolphins Chargers, but I mean, I agree with you on that. Patriots Cardinals. Everett, I'm going to be honest, a very large portion of the reason why I picked the Cardinals here is because they're coming off a bye, and I'm pretty sure they also they played my Chargers on Sunday, but they're going to have 8 days of rest, or no, another week, fucking 15 days of rest going into this one. But that actually might be a horrible thing because Kyler definitely spent 13 of those 15 days.
He was also injured, by the way, going into that week, I think, into the bye week. So definitely played more COD than he would have before. Also, you're giving Cliff way too much time to sit there and tinkle with his toys, meddle with his toys, and play.
No, 100% true. 100% true. It's just last time the Cardinals played, they got their heart ripped out by my Bolts on the fucking last drive of the game. If they don't come out with a vengeance here, then I'm fading them rest of the year. This is more of a challenge to the Cardinals from me. Like, you better win this game or I'm done with you. I'm done with you if you don't win this.
I'm looking one at the Pats secondary, who has played very well this year, and I'm expecting them to lock up Nuke. And I'm looking.
I don't think that's possible, but let's go
on. Okay. But also, I'm not taking a knock against Kyler or the offense. I'm taking a knock against Cliff. The reason I picked the Patriots is fully because
I would have accepted a Kyler knock too, but
it's Bill Belichick versus Cliff fucking Kingsbury.
No, yeah. 100%.
And I feel like in all aspects of the game, Bill Belichick is going to outcoach Cliff, and that's what it's going to come down to.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm kind of feel like I'm not saying you've ever been a Cardinals defender, but I feel like usually on this show, I'm the Bill Belichick completely unreasonable
which means when I'm making a point about
giving that.
Which means if I'm making a point about it, there's probably some credit to it. So otherwise, I wouldn't be switching my opinion.
That's definitely it. Or, and it has been well documented on the show, you strongly hate the Cardinals a lot. Now, that could also play into it. I don't know.
If it was any other coach, I think that the Cardinals could win, but I think Cliff sucks.
Fair enough. I don't have I really don't have much to say about
All right, Bolts breakdown. You don't have anything?
Okay, I'll say a quick little comment about Chargers Dolphins. My one thought is like the Dolphins losing last week is like the worst fucking thing for the Chargers this week. If the Dolphins were undefeated, well, technically they're still undefeated with Tua fully healthy, but if the Dolphins were still undefeated when Tua was actually starting, then I would have felt pretty fucking good about this week for my Bolts. Then we have a chance to knock them off. But now, I mean, Tyreek and Waddle are about to combine for 500.
Yeah, y'all secondary is some booty cheeks.
Yeah, Devontae Adams against the Chargers alone has 400 receiving yards this year. So, yeah, we got problems, and we don't have any ways to fix them. So,
one. It's hiring Sean Payton.
I mean, that actually is the answer, but I also want to hear your opinion. So Fox, they have the in the hunt graphic, of course. There's no better feeling than seeing your mediocre ass football team like the Chargers in the hunt on fucking Thanksgiving weekend or in early December. There's nothing better. But ESPN, instead of in the hunt, they've done sniffing around for their term for the fringe guys. What do you prefer, Everett? Sniffing around or in the hunt?
I mean, there's only one answer to this question. And if
sniffing around, of course.
Obviously. I think they went into like a thesaurus and they're like, what
be, give us a hip, cool way of saying
what would the kids like?
Yeah, literally. What would the kids like?
You know what probably happened is the dude in charge of that, like who was given the assignment and had to come back with it like the next day. He was just sitting in his house. And then his kid was watching like Paw Patrol or some shit like that, like some door.
Yeah, probably.
And they were just like that. They were just like, they heard just
sniffing around. Yes.
That's it. I got it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't even be surprised. Like, if an 8-year-old just came up with it on his own.
Kid was watching the episode of Dora the Explorer.
Like,
they said, Swiper, stop sniffing around. They were like, damn, that's it. That's my marketing idea.
Yeah, no, there's that. But I just want to bring light to the sniffing around graphic. But okay, Everett.
That's right.
Before we ended up with Vikings Lions, and I got a quick little question for you on that game. I want to take this time to shout out Patrick Mahomes and the wonders that he has done off the field this season to not only make the NFL a better product, but to improve the reputation of the NFL and the Kansas City Chiefs also. When was the last time you heard of Patrick Mahomes' wife or Jackson Mahomes, Everett?
I heard of Patrick Mahomes' wife like a month ago because apparently she's pregnant again. But outside of that, no, I have not heard anything with the NFL.
But you haven't seen Jackson Mahomes dancing on Sean Taylor's memorial or the wife popping champagne bottles and dumping it on fans. You haven't seen any of that this year, right? I haven't
seen that this year, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I want to take this time to shout out Patty because my God, dude, wow. It's been such a clean and I guess quick. I guess just wrangling them like you guys need to fucking stop. The credit card is not gonna work anymore if you keep doing this shit. Like I'm just shout out Patrick, man. Like he laid down the fucking line this offseason.
Really went to that Aaron Rodgers level.
Literally, though.
Laying down the fucking law there.
Literally, it'd be so funny if he just disowned him.
Speaking of another man laying down the law, Thomas Edward Brady is now, 3-1 since being
Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
Sorry. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. is now, 3-1 since his divorce?
Yeah.
We said this before. If he
come back on Monday, holy
shit. He gets divorced, he's about to run the fucking league, and guess what he's currently doing? Running the fucking league.
Now, it's not exactly running the league like we kind of thought. Like it's not like they're putting up 80 points a game, but he is winning much better than it was when he was with Giselle.
Yeah.
So hey, that's all we got to say. But okay, Everett, Vikings, Lions, Everett. Before. You definitely know the spread for this, but before we break down the spread,
I'm aware.
Everett, please correct me if I'm wrong here, but didn't you say the Vikings always struggle with the Lions for some fucking reason?
Some fucking reason. At least over the last couple of years, we struggled with the Lions and the Bears late in the season.
Okay.
Some reason.
Okay. Now the Lions, maybe Vegas has kept that in mind. The Lions are actually 2.5-point favorites over a 10-2 team. The Lions are 5-7. Now I know Jameson Williams is great, but he's not worth fucking 5 points. All right, like he's good, but he's not that good. Okay, he's coming off an ACL, guys.
Yeah, so the Lions put up 40 fucking points on the Jaguars, and now people are interpreting that as if they are a godsend to the NFL and to their offense. We've seen them put up 40 points, and the next week they dropped 3. They got their ass whooped by the Patriots, I'm pretty sure. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. The fuck, like, this is free money. Like, even if the Vikings lose, because, I mean, like I said, they do struggle, and I'm not saying that we're going to lose, but if we do lose, it's going to be by a minimal amount. That 2.5 points, if it moves to 3.5, even at 2.5, that is a solidified winner right there. Vikings games are always close anyways.
I'm just shocked that they really
like. I understand. Okay, games in Detroit. You got Jameson Williams coming back. They dropped 40 points on the.
That's no, Everett. You're giving the Lions too much credit. That is not a reason to make them favorite.
I'm about to finish my
Williams
point.
and home. I'm on your side here.
I was about to say it's not like that's just it's unreasonable. Like you're just giving it's free money for anybody who wants to bet that. Like looking at the Vikings, okay, we're obviously a Caleb Evans is now out again with another concussion, probably going to get held out for a couple more weeks now. But your guy Cam Dantzler coming back this week. He should be back this week. We've got Dalvin Tomlinson up the center again for our nose tackle.
JMO doesn't do good with physicality, so that's a good thing.
Dalvin Tomlinson is back. He was back last week, but he's our nose tackle. Big guy for the run game, for run stuffing, which is important, especially because the Lions fucking run on any goal line.
Yeah.
So, and we saw the very first game that we played versus the Lions, it was a close game. Vikings had to come back to win, and obviously now we know that that's not unnatural. So I think it'll be interesting. I think also Kevin O'Connell has now seen this team before, sees the way that they've played. He's got more time to scheme up against them. I think that the Vikings are going to win this one. It could actually be the game where the Vikings actually get a blowout victory.
So have you guys already played this year once?
Yes. The Vikings are currently 3-0 versus the NFC North.
Okay, Everett. All right. So, I mean, that's one way to keep your lead in the division. That's definitely one way of doing it.
Vikings also, by the way, can win the NFC North this week by beating the Lions. If the Vikings beat the Lions, the Vikings win the NFC North this week.
Okay. Now that's also very interesting. I kind of going back a little bit to last week though. Like, let's talk Vikings offense real quick. Lions atrocious secondary. Is this the Kirk 400-yarder?
It could be. Also, keep in mind, Kirk coming off a terrible, probably his worst game this season last week.
Which makes me think
he might come back and be even better. Also, what I want to note, last week, Jalen Reagor was the highest.
I was about to say.
Highest graded player on the Vikings offense. He came in for 2. I think he got the ball twice, one of which 37 yards downfield in a contested catch. The second one on a sweep for 8 yards.
Yeah, I was gonna say they handed the ball off to him.
That's what I was saying.
They're doing the Debo shit.
Have I not said that that's the way that they need to use Jalen Reagor to do fucking Debo shit? I think that also to note, by the way, the lowest graded player on the Vikings offense was KJ Osborne last week, and the highest was Jalen Reagor. I think that could see Jalen Reagor utilized more, have speed and space, something that the Lions didn't see the first time they played. And obviously Jalen Reagor's been playing better. I think that, I don't know, it could be a very big point of emphasis for the Vikings offense this next week.
I do think when I think of the Vikings, obviously Justin Jefferson, dynamic playmaker. Dalvin Cook, I was under the impression he has like an 80-yard touchdown run like every year, but you recently told me that the one he had like 3 weeks ago is the longest he's had in his career. Mm-hmm. Is Jalen Reagor, if he was playing, would he be the fastest player on your offense? Would he add an extra layer?
He probably is the fastest player on our
I know Jefferson's fast, but when I think of Jefferson, I think of more like quick movements. Like
Jalen Reagor vertical speed is probably the fastest of any starting player. I think that we might have a player that's faster on roster, but I don't think that he's a starter. So it doesn't matter.
I think though, I'm not entirely sure, but I mean, speed kills. We all know that. Mm-hmm. Let's see what KSC can do with a speedy guy.
Exhibit A, Jameson Williams.
Yeah. Now either I mean, for your sanity, I hope an Ohio State receiver doesn't torch you again this week. But then again,
well, the thing is also,
I want JMO to fucking drop 400 every week.
Garrett dropped 166 on our head, but also none of that came from torches. Like he had 17 targets last week.
No, it was a lot. And shout out Mike White. Thank you, brother.
He had 51 passing attempts. You know that Mike White threw the ball 51 times.
Okay, actually, now that you got me on the subject, how do you think Zach Wilson feels that when Flacco was the starter beginning of the year, he threw 60 times a game? And now that Mike White started, he's still throwing 50, 60 times a game. How do you think Zach Wilson feels that their coach literally doesn't trust him to throw more than 25 times a game?
He probably still thinks he deserves to be the starter and that he's not the problem.
100%. He definitely thinks that.
100%.
But do you think there's a chance deep down, a chance that he's like, wait, am I fucking this up? Do you think there's a chance he's considering that?
If he is, he's never going to admit it to anybody.
Oh, fuck no. But just personally, do you think he might?
I personally don't think so. I think he's just a prick that way.
I think he might start.
How do you think Zach Wilson feels that the entire team, the entire offense was wearing Mike White shirts on the way to last week?
Without question, Mike White's the starter for the rest of the year.
Oh,
for the Jets, without question. The thing is, though, next year, Zach Wilson will definitely get another chance. Just in the offseason, just QB battle.
Right,
I think they're going to give him a chance offseason. This is
my question. This was going to be my question to you, and this is what we're going to wrap.
He did take him number 2, and you know how much.
What we're going to wrap the episode up with. I have my opinion. Obviously, it sounds like you disagree with me, but what do you think happens to Mike White after this? Not Mike White. Zach Wilson after this season, and what do you think happens to the Jets quarterback position?
Okay, so I think, I really think the Jets are a quarterback away.
I agree with that.
And I don't know if they'll do it. This is kind of more of a hope prediction, but if I were the Jets, Zach Wilson, maybe you could find a trade partner. Even then, it's fine. Cut him, sunk cost, dead weight. There's no point of fucking banging on him anymore. You go pick up a quarterback in the draft. You guys have heard my opinions on Stroud and shit. And I mean, they won't be able to get Bryce Young because they're fucking like 7-5 right now. But get someone. Find a guy, okay? I don't care who it is. It could be fucking DTR for all I care. Just Zach Wilson is just not and maybe Mike White's actually the answer next year. It won't make them contenders, but it'll keep the ship afloat. But I think what that Mike White t-shirt of the teammates wearing the Mike White shirt, what that showed me is, oh yeah, this is Mike White's team. Zach Wilson's not a prominent figure in that locker room anymore. It's Mike White's team.
So currently,
I just want to shout out Saleh for picking his team and his locker room over his quarterback. I want to shout out him.
Yeah, The Jets currently have the 18th overall pick, and obviously it has room to increase or decrease. Yeah. So they're right in the middle. And as of right now, outside of Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, you could even argue Will Levis. You can argue it. Although I kind of
I know.
There are not really any other quarterbacks that are first round caliber quarterbacks. They're going I don't think Anthony Richardson is a first round quarterback.
Yeah. Now on second thought, I don't know if they have an answer next year.
So I don't think that you can get anybody through the draft unless you're going to trade up. And if you trade up, you're going to hopefully try to package your first, maybe another first in Zach Wilson.
Yeah. I don't know what they can do,
that's going to be maybe you can get the Texans to bite on Zach Wilson. It's the Texans. Maybe you can figure something out there. But I think that Zach Wilson is going to get released at the end of this season. I think the Jets are going to find their their bridge quarterback solution in Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, Jimmy G. Okay.
I think that the Jets draft a new quarterback either in the late round, they get an Anthony Richardson and they have him develop behind Jimmy G. They use him in package deals, kind of like Trey Lance last year. Or they draft another quarterback in the first round high into the 2024 draft, and they have to trade for that pick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking of course, if you can get Bryce Young, fuck yeah. I'm assuming they can't. And now that you've kind of brought it up, I don't know who the answer is.
I don't think CJ Stroud. I don't think CJ Stroud would do well in that offense.
Fix the Jets. No,
but if the Jets get Bryce Young, that team is a contender.
I truly believe that too.
Even in his rookie season, that team is a contender.
Yeah, and of course, I don't think the Jets will be in a position to take him, but I think that's the only answer at quarterback in this rookie class to make the Jets a contender. And I don't know the free agent class for the quarterbacks upcoming, but Jimmy G, I think, would do a very good job keeping them afloat. It's really just the quarterback for the Jets. You just need to not fuck up.
Okay, so here, hold up.
Just don't lose the game.
Hold on.
Jets. That's all you got to do.
2023 NFL free agent quarterbacks. Okay. 1, Lamar Jackson. 2, Geno Smith. 3, Tom Brady. 4, Jimmy Garoppolo. I believe that's kind of like the big bits, right? And obviously Lamar is probably going to re-sign. If he doesn't re-sign, I see that being target number 1 for the Jets. They have the cap to do that. Like, you could throw out as much money as you want. If the Jets get Lamar Jackson, obviously immediately Super Bowl contender. Geno Smith's going to re-sign. So that comes down to, now you have Tom Brady and Jimmy Garoppolo. Tom Brady's already said basically he doesn't know if he's going to return to Tampa and he wants to continue to play. So why not go to a team? Why not go to a team that you've seen before, that's ready, that's built now?
Tom Brady took the Jets.
Tom Brady takes the Jets to the Super Bowl, beats Bill one last time.
Beats Bill twice that season.
Takes him to the chip.
It'd be beautiful. It'd just be a story of destiny, to be honest. And yeah, I'm just getting like a brief, quick look at this free agent quarterback class. Yeah, Jets need a miracle. Jets need a miracle. That's how they'll fix their quarterback position, because there is no fucking answer. There is not.
Jimmy G could. I think Jimmy G could possibly do it. If
keep him afloat, 100p.
Yeah, he could keep him in. He could keep him in contention. He fucking got the 49ers there with that team. Like, I mean, they can do it.
Well,
their defense was great, obviously. But the Jets defense is also phenomenal.
No, yeah, I get you.
Jets defense also is phenomenal. So
yeah. But yeah, that's all I have. We've been kind of riffing for a little. I think we're actually at an hour 20 now. So
about that, yeah, hour 20 right now. With that, thank you guys so much for watching, listening. Rate us 5 stars. Check us out on TikTok, Twitter, on YouTube at Waterboy Pod. With the holiday season coming up, I wish we had a parallel to sell, but we don't. But since that isn't the case, just shout it out. Tell all your friends, your family. Listen, tell your seatmate on the plane. Just spread the word of the Water Boys.
Just play it out loud, guys.
Play it out loud. Play it over the PA. Take over the PA system. Just
bring one of those massive JBLs.
Just get the boom box.
Yeah, bring the boom box.
You know how it be.
Blast the boys. You know what it do, baby.
Water Boys out.